There was baseball news for sure over the weekend, including Alex Bregman's arrival at Red Sox camp. Big smiles, not just by Alex, but by his new teammates and a very excited fan base. Here he is arriving at camp in Fort Myers for the first time. Here is Bregman on the kind of player he is and his new uniform.
I've been fortunate enough to be in the playoffs the first 8 years of my career, and I plan on continuing to do that here. I'm a winning player. This is a winning organization. Those players are winning players. We have winning coaches here, and I plan on winning here. After talking with some of the guys over the last 2 days, I can see that there's something special here. Franchise players, veteran players, young players, all ready to get after it. From the beginning of this process, ownership has met with us and expressed how they want to win in Boston, and they have showed us how they have a track record of doing it before. And I believe in all those guys in that clubhouse, and after playing against them, I definitely do. And I think everyone here is motivated to win. Playing at Fenway is awesome. Playing for a city that not only loves winning but expects to win. I like playing in those kind of pressure-packed environments, and I feel like I got that here in Boston.
In Alex, we're getting an elite defensive infielder. We're getting an offensive profile that fits our park almost perfectly. Perhaps most importantly, we're getting a champion, a winner, a leader, someone who will serve as a mentor to our emerging young group, and someone who will have a lasting impact on this organization.
Well, for Bregman's part, it's everything that the fans wanted to hear. Like, I'm here, I'm going to win for you. I thought he handled it great, as Craig Breslow did. And here's my question for you. I think one of the interesting rubs here is that Craig Breslow went on to say it's not been determined in stone that he's going to play second base. We're still kind of trying to figure this out.
Fake news.
It's not fake news, Harold. He said it.
You know what I find interesting? First, listening to Bregman, does he fire you up or what?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to play with that guy, and occasionally what happens for me, being an old guy that used to play, I'll see players and I'll say, boy, I wish I had been his teammate when I was a kid. You know, he is just that inspirational. But as far as second base and third base, I probably have my own take on it, and it's this. Boston's defense has been really part of their Achilles heel the last couple of seasons. I would love to have Bregman and Story on that left side and have a given. We know that Bregman's gold glove-ish at third base. We know Story is Story. If they could shore up just that left side and not have to worry about it, then you have a plus already. But because he's so athletic and because he's so versatile, he could play anywhere in the infield. And also, Devers is maybe too young to stick as a DH. You have to keep playing. I mean, he's a young, unbelievable superstar offensively, and you got to play him.
And if Devers is too young, then Casas is definitely too young to stick at the DH spot all the time. I think that because Alex Cora is so good with this kind of thing to begin with, I think the Red Sox will probably be, if I were to identify one team that might look differently night after night, it's going to be the Red Sox. Yeah. I mean, where guys are playing, where they're batting, they're not 9 gloves, throw them out there and write the names down. It's going to evolve day to day based on matchups.
Yeah, and if, by the end of Alex's career, he was that kind of player. He would play anywhere to get the job done. So I think that'll happen. And I think, moving to second base for a third baseman is probably easier than ever for these reasons. A couple seasons ago, we had the shift. A lot of third basemen had to play on the right side of the diamond many times. So they got the ball on that side of the diamond. And because of the slides that don't take infielders out anymore, it's a little easier to turn that to.
That's a good point. Yeah. So Bregman signs late in the winter, the off season. He's in camp. Juan Soto signed a lot earlier. He too is in camp. As players arrive, and we have fresh video of Soto in his Mets gear arriving at Port St. Lucie. A lot of excitement around his arrival for sure. His teammates were impressed by him, and here he is on his first days as a Met.
They're going to get a player that's going to come to play hard every day for 162 games. Doesn't matter what is going on out there. I'm going to give my 100% every day. It doesn't matter if I'm doing good or bad. I'm going to be out there every day, giving everything that I have in the field. So that's the only thing I can promise. Everything else, we will see how it comes through, but definitely it's going to be my 100% every day. I never say I could be the guy. I would say it's a whole team. You need a whole team to go all the way. When you look around teams that win the World Series, it's teams that have really good players, teams that have experience, youth, and everything. So I think it takes more than one guy. And when you see the Mets and the roster and what they have in the farm system, I think they have a really good chance to be on it for a long time. We just gotta show it. We just gotta play baseball. We just gotta go out there and show our abilities. So I think we have a really good chance to go all the way.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting, Harold. I thought, well, I'm going to ask you what you
He's
think.
showing off those guns, I'll tell you that.
He does look a little yoked up.
Wow.
When you signed for $765 million, you are the man.
That's right.
So I don't know if that was just he, got a bowl of word salad and he just kind of didn't really articulate what it was he wanted to say, or if, in fact, he's already starting to defer by saying, look, I'm going to play hard. I'm just one of 26 men on this roster.
I think when you come into a new situation, you don't want to ruffle any feathers, So this is kind of Lindor's team. So I think when you're a new face and you come in despite signing for almost $800 million, despite being there for 15 years, I think that you just want to, you want to be diplomatic when you talk about those things. But he will be looked at as the man that entire time. And I don't know, he's a transformative offensive player. He's one of those few players, I don't know if you agree, Matt, when he takes batting practice, when he does what he has to do to get ready for games, it'll spread in that entire team because he does it better than just about anyone else in the game.
Yeah, he's an edge of your seat at bat. He's the guy who you watch. You get off your phone for a sec and you watch. Even our kids would do that, and that's saying something.
The at-bat he had against the Guardians is one of the greatest at-bats in the history of the game. That's how good it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were there for that series.
There.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, Soto's in camp, Bregman's in camp, and maybe to the surprise of many of us, Nolan Arenado is in camp, showing up and exchanging a hug with his manager, Oliver Marmol, as if to say, thanks for buying this juice. I'm really enjoying it, or something like that. This from Derek Gould's Instagram, or X account, rather. Here is Arenado on finally being at Cardinals camp.
Obviously, there's been a lot going on this offseason, and, there was, a lot of truths out there. There was some lies out there. I try not to get caught up into it too much, I really focus on just getting ready for the season, and that's about it, There was a lot of things going on. There was always there's a possibility of me getting traded, and there's a possibility of me coming back, and I'm back, and I'm ready to go play ball. Obviously, excited to see the boys, and, I love seeing some of these guys. I haven't seen them in a while, and it feels good to be in Florida again, and East Coast time's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but besides that, it feels good. I'm excited to get to work. I'm a ball player, and I'm really focusing on getting ready for the season, and that's it. The Cardinals are doing, what I wish the direction was all in, of course. But is this what's probably best for the Cardinals? Probably.
A lot to kind of dig in on there. I don't know where the lies were. I would have loved a clarification on, what was real and what wasn't, because there was a lot that was said in the offseason, and apparently, from Nolan's perspective, not all of it was accurate. And then at the end there, a little more than cryptic on, I wish we were more all in.
Yeah, I think certainly it was a dig. You said that that you were surprised that he was in camp. I'm not surprised he was in camp. I'm surprised that he's still with St. Louis.
Cardinals camp. I should have specified
exactly.
that. Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't know if we can bring up that picture again with the hug with Marmol, but you and I have young sons. This is the same hug we give our son when they make an error in the field. You know what I mean, right? It's the same hug. So it was a strange offseason for the Cardinals and also for Nolan. Kid you not, when you spend the entire offseason having to listen to or talk to, and it transforms everywhere. You go out to dinner with your family, people will ask you, you going to be with the Cardinals? I mean, are you leaving them? I mean, it happens all the time, so it just becomes a pain in the you-know-what at some point. And I think they were cryptic, but to me it seemed like he's surprised, too, that he's still there. He
plays with a lot of emotion, too, right?
He does.
He's a grinder, so he's not the kind of guy that you think he's just going to go out there and blank out the noise. He's going to try. But
Yeah.
it's a weird beginning to the season in St. Louis. If we look at their projected lineup, and not much is expected of the Cardinals in terms of division success or even contending for a pennant, of course, because the odds don't reflect that. It's a rebuild year, and they're trying to do the very difficult thing in sports, and that's rebuild and still win and still be competitive. There's a lot of talent here for sure, and young players like Mason Wynn and Victor Scott. I just don't know if they're better than the Cubs or the Brewers or the Reds at this point.
Right now. And if you didn't hear all the noise this winter and you just looked at that lineup you just put up, there's a lot of things that you should be positive about. They have some great young players, combined with some veteran players that maybe bounce passes them into another golden age for the Cardinals. Who knows? But it seems tainted right now because of the, I don't know, lame duck kind of atmosphere that's going there. You know, John Mozeliak, who's been there forever, is on his way, and Chaim Bloom is going to take. It's just, there's not a lot we know about the future of the Cardinals, and we've always known everything about the Cardinals' future. We know they're going to be great every year. We know they're going to be in the postseason. That hasn't happened.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. So maybe given the lowered expectations, the Cardinals could surprise some people this year.
Exactly.
I think that's the hope in St. Louis. So, yeah, that's the serious stuff over the weekend. There was also some fun images that we got over the weekend as well. You know, Garrett Cole is in Yankee camp in Tampa. And among the things he was asked to sign, a child.
Got 10 kids.
I mean, can you sign my baby is interesting. I'm just glad it wasn't on the skin of the child, and security was there monitoring.
I mean, it's one of those things that no ball player is going to say no to. Why? Most of them have small babies. So, you know, I mean, you're hitting them exactly right where their sweet spot. They can't say no to that. So,
gee, my goodness. Also, facial hair, not so much in Yankee camp. Devin Williams looks a little different without the beard.
He does.
Than he did with. Facial hair is also a thing in other camps as well. Check it out. All right, Dallas Keuchel and Lucas Giolito. We're working on I guess some kind of a similarity there because Lucas's is coming in nice.
Nice. I mean, I would give anything to be able to grow a beard like that. I'm the person that you probably grow an amazing beard. Yeah. I grow a beard, it takes about, looks beautiful after 4 days and then never grows again. Then we got Peter Crow Armstrong with his look for spring.
Very aggressive. The stars. He looks like Macklemore from that shot.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Speaking of which, listen into this.
Hey, that was my first spring training number was 91. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I need to emulate everything about Dennis Rodman, but shoot, defensively, not a bad comparison.
Is this the best look you've had so far? You feel
I
like?
think that is Pete's best look.